Good morning from Jack's Farmland. This is Patty, and this video is for my friends on my Facebook page, land hermit crab owners. And that's what I am. I'm a land hermit crab owner. I have 9 hermit crabs in a 125-gallon tank in my house. And this is video for some people on there that wanted to see how to grow and harvest loofahs. And you can add a loofah to the hermit crab's diet when it's young and you harvest it young, or you can wait till it's mature and you harvest it and peel it and let it dry out, and then you put it in there and let them climb on it. And they really enjoy that, but you got to monitor it and make sure it doesn't get molded. And if it does, just take it out and switch it to another one. But this video is going to show you what's left of my loofah vine for the season. Loofah vines are pretty easy to grow once you get them started. You got to get them started. That's the thing. You put them in the ground around March, April. I just have mine in a pot, a big giant pot, and it grew like crazy. I had loofahs everywhere. I have loofah seeds everywhere. So there's probably going to be loofahs growing out my ears next year because of all the seeds that I've dropped in the yard. But anyways, I'm going to spin you around and let you see this so you can see how to harvest them. And unfortunately, the ones I have left on the vine are not turning yellow, so I'm going to have to harvest them green and let them dry out in a cool, dry area, because any kind of moisture or humidity and they will rot. So I'm going to let them dry out, and I'm going to show you how to peel one. They're pretty easy to peel, but I can tell you right now, once they get brown and hard, they're actually harder to peel. I like to peel them when they're like yellow. They're still moist and they dry out very quickly. As soon as you start peeling them, they start turning brown. They start drying out. So I'm going to spin you around and let you see the loofah vine, what's left of it, and then we'll go from there. Here's what's left of it. It was going over, we had another trellis here, and it grew over the whole trellis, and they were so heavy that they actually collapsed the whole trellis. So we had to tear that trellis down, unravel the loofah vine from it, and that was a major job, and then put up some cattle panel, because this will not be tore down. And so the loofah vine, it suffered a little bit, but it's time for it to start dying back anyway. And see, I just have it in this big pot right here. That's just one seed. I put like 3 seeds in that pot, and one went crazy. And there was a couple times I had to hand pollinate because the bees were not coming to the flowers to make they would make little loofahs, but they would turn brown on the ends and rot and fall off. So I had to hand pollinate with a little brush. I would take some of the male pollen and put it onto the female flower, and after a couple times doing that, I didn't have to do it anymore. They started pollinating themselves, I guess by wind, and then the bees started coming. And I mean, I had lots of bees, and they were local bees. They were not, bees from far away. They were local, big. They're not honeybees. I don't know what kind of bees they are, but they did a great job pollinating. So I had lots of loofahs. I have a box of loofahs in the house. I have a box of loofahs out here on the patio, and I have all these loofahs left, and I've given away loofahs to several people. So I've had plenty, and they are great for scrubbing in the shower. They are great for scrubbing your dishes. They're great for scrubbing your walls in your bathtub. They're great for all kinds of things. You can even make soap and put the piece of loofah in there and make you a loofah soap. I love them. They're awesome. I can't wait to do it again, but I don't think I'm going to put it on this trellis next year because they shaded it so much that it drowned out some of my other plants that were in there, and they suffered from not getting any sunlight. Like the basil, or basil if you're in English, you see basil. And so it suffered greatly without sunlight. And then my Cuban oregano over there, it suffered pretty good too. Didn't get any sun, but it's coming back. And then I have some butterfly peas that are growing out here. And I've already restarted planting in this bed for the winter, for winter crops like cabbage and broccoli and cauliflower. But anyway, I'm going to have to cut some of these off and show you. They're just easy to cut, and I like to get the ones that the stems are turning brown. Once the stems turn brown, I'll cut them off. And that's pretty much looks like, oh, look at that little bitty lizard right there. I don't know if you can see him. He's so cute. But once the stems turn brown, it looks like almost all of them have turned brown. So I can go ahead and cut them all off of here and take this thing down. That'd be so good. So anyway, I'm going to have to cut one off here right now. And I don't have any out here that are already cut that I can show you how to peel. So let me cut one of these off and see if I can peel it for you. Try to get one that's pretty... None of them are turning yellow. They're all still pretty green. All the ones that I harvested already were turning yellow. Let me get this one. It's down here, easy to get to. And another clue that they're getting ready to be harvested is they get real light. Light as in weight, because they're some heavy things. But once they start to get really light when you pick them up, then it's pretty much time to go, whether they're green or yellow or brown. Okay, I'm going to have to put this phone down somewhere so I can show you. Or I can just come over here and sit down in a chair and show you. Here I have a box of them right here. Whole bunches of them. Okay, let me see if I can sit down right here and try to cut this thing so you can see it. Don't mind my dirty yard. It's always working out here. We have chickens. We have like a small homestead here in Jacksonville, Florida. And we have chickens and vegetables and a greenhouse. It's doing really well. I was out here this morning adding compost to my vegetable bed around there on the other side of the greenhouse. I have several beds all over the yard. I really need just one big location for my garden like I used to have years ago. I used to have a huge garden. Grew all kinds of crops. You know what? I need to go get my knife. That's what I need. Those little scissors aren't going to do anything, and I have a knife right over here that I use out here by this old dilapidated sink that we wash the chicken waters and feeders in. Get my knife. Come over here and see if I can show you how to do this. And several of you have inquired about seeds, so just send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, message me on Facebook, and I'll give you my address, and you can send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I will send you some seeds, because I have a lot of seeds, and I'm going to have more. And I got to go try to get a whole loofah in the mail today to one of the girls who wants a whole loofah. I'm not going to be doing that very often because shipping is ridiculous. And I got so much to do, I don't have time to be running back and forth to the post office. So the self-addressed stamped envelopes work really good too. And I'll probably generally send you about 10 or 15 seeds a piece. That's all you really need, because once you get it going, you will have so many seeds you'll be trying to get rid of them. Okay, once you start getting down, you get past this green thick part here on the edge, and you can see the fibers in there. And once you start getting all this green off of here, that fiber will be exposed to the air, and it will start to turn brown. And right now it's really wet, and it's hard to do with one hand. I really need both hands, but I gotta hold the phone. I'll do it for a little bit so you can get the idea. And when they're yellow, they peel much easier. You just go down the whole thing and take it off. And when they're young, you can feed it to your chickens. They will eat it. And you can cook it when it's young. I'd say when they're about 6 or 7 inches long, up to maybe 10 inches long. You can harvest them and cook them, saute them, butter, salt, and pepper, and they taste kind of like a yellow squash, but they're a little bit slimy, so be forewarned on that. But if you like okra, that will be no problem, because you'll be used to slime. But they do have a good flavor. And you know, people over in the Orient and other countries, this is one of their main vegetables. But anyway, you get the idea. You see how it's already turning brown. It doesn't take but a few minutes and it starts turning brown. And then by the end of the day today, it will be almost completely dried out. Especially if it's on a nice hot day, it will dry out really quick. But it's kind of dreary here in Florida right now. It's kind of cloudy. We need some rain, but it's cloudy and a little bit cool. Not too bad. About 60, I think. I was out here working. I had to take off my jacket. But anyways, this is how you cut it. You cut it any way you want. Just get all the green stuff off. And then you can cut it open or slice it in pieces. I like to cut them open and lay them flat and dig all the seeds out, because I like the flat pieces to scrub my body and my dishes with, because this long piece like this, it's good to have one long like this hole that you can scrub your back with in the shower. That works out well. But if you're like me, you want open pieces. But anyway, this is how you do a loofah. And when you get your seeds, you plant them depending on what zone you're living in, what gardening zone you live in, or farming zone. Zones are actually for flowers and stuff. It's not so much as for vegetables. So just look up loofahs, when to grow in your area, because zones have nothing to do with vegetables. Zones have to do with flowers. So go by what the Google says in your area for planting, but I generally plant them around March. And it takes them about 3 or 4 weeks to sprout. It takes them a good while. And you'll be thinking, oh, they're not going to come up. And then all of a sudden, they'll pop out of the ground, and they'll start growing. They grow slow at first, but once they get going, you will have them everywhere. And the vine is so beautiful. It's got big, beautiful leaves and big yellow flowers. They don't have a smell, but the bees love them. So, and another warning, I get the big red bull ants, and they seem to love them too. So you got to be looking for those if they're in your area. If not, don't worry about it. But as far as pests go, tearing up your loofahs and destroying and eating your vine and all that, I haven't had an issue with no pests. I have pests all around the other fruits and vegetables, but they didn't touch the loofah. So that was great. I was like, awesome. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here and sign off and let you view this video. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell and all those good things. And hopefully I will catch you on the next one. I hope this helps all those out there wanting to grow some loofahs. Have a great day.